Hey! Hey guys, we're Zach and Allie, and we've been living and traveling in a van full time since 2017.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. We converted this van from scratch. It was bare metal when we first got it, and we never really captured any of that on film because we weren't filming back in the day.
We should have been.
We should have been.
But we didn't.
We've done some remodeling since then, so we wanted to invite you into our home and show you some of the things that we've changed about our van.
And how we set it up and live in it.
Yeah,
Every
so
day, full time.
let's get into the tour, guys.
The first thing we're going to look at is what I call the garage. This is basically the catch-all of anything outdoorsy or camping wise that we have. All right, try not to make fun of us. We do have a lot of crap, but we do this full time, so it's everything that we need for all seasons, whatever it may be. So let's take a look. Ta-da! The garage is slam packed. Let's dig in here a little bit. Show you guys our fresh tank. This is our drinking jug. We can actually fill this up in various locations. Drinking water. Got shoes. Some rolly thing. Goggles. There's the fresh tank. So this is our 12-gallon fresh tank that pipes to the sink. If you're wondering why it's pink, we actually had to cover it in insulation because it kept condensating and started growing mushrooms from behind here. So if you guys want to check out that video, we'll link it to. This space right here, this little wall, is actually the back side of our dressers. We'll show you that from the front side, but on the sides we have more space that goes all the way back. We've got tools, camping gear. This is our shower tent, a table.
And the very first van that we lived in, we had put one of these shoe racks on our door and stored all the random things that you just didn't know where to put. We put this on when we first built the van, and it stores everything from fishing line to like knee braces in this thing.
Ratchet straps, pirate flag.
Pirate flag. It's like playing Tetris. And I'll be honest with you, it's usually not this full. Oh, that's why I had the generator over there.
Mm-hmm.
I made these black curtains for back here last winter. Now you know why. It hides all of our crap. Nice and tidy now.
If you guys are new to the channel, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.
We post videos weekly, usually on a Sunday, all about our travels and living in the van.
Check them out. All right, on the outside of our van, we haven't really made a whole lot of upgrades. We do have the roof rack, which I built myself, and we have an awning and 2 solar panels up there. So we have a total of 200 watts of solar. We also have a little bit of extra storage because some of the things won't fit in the garage. So we have a bag up there, like a travel bag. But we're planning on upgrading that soon too. As it does leak.
As he's saying this, I'm laughing so hard because not only do we have a lot of crap in the back of the van, we've also stored things on the roof, guys. This is like van life reality right here. I just went back and rewatched that clip. Miss Daisy needs a bath, yo.
Hey, show them your map.
Yeah. A lot of people are big in van life for doing the stealth thing, but to be honest with you, from 2017 to 2023, things have really changed in the van life world. And I just don't feel like you need to be stealthy anymore. So with these changes, we've kind of added a few exterior things just to kind of jazz ourselves up a little bit. So I got this map for Christmas and I'm really stoked on it, guys. Come on in, guys. This is the bedroom. We decided to do a fixed bed so we could have lots of space underneath for clothes and garage storage. Back here in the bedroom, We've given ourselves a TV because we do travel for Zach's work, so sometimes it's nice to have that luxury. So we have a 12-volt fan that currently does not work. We're working on trying to get it fixed, but we're not quite sure what's wrong with it. Zach and I like to read. I know it doesn't look like it. We recently have gone through and taken out all the books that we've already read, and we're getting some new ones. So if you have any good book ideas, drop them in the comments because we love a good book. I have a very tiny space to decorate in, but I love some plants. I just feel like it really livens the place up. So we've decorated this. We also have an Alexa because, shh, she's listening. And if you haven't noticed, yes, it's like mid-January and we still have not taken our Christmas lights down.
We might not.
We might never take our Christmas lights down. All right, I say we move out of the bedroom and into the kitchen.
Oh, and by the way, these are real.
Oh yeah, these are real. They're dying a little bit, I think. I don't know what's wrong with them. If you know what's wrong with my plant, could you please just tell me in the comments, because I have no idea what's going on with my plant. I can't keep them from not browning here on the end.
How many plants did you go through before we finally got a plant that you've not killed?
I'm pretty sure in the span of like almost 6 years, I've gone through like 12 to 13 plants.
Cactuses, succulents.
All different types of plants. At the moment, I don't know what this one's called. I can't remember, but it's survived for a while, and a money tree, because money tree seems to survive too.
Why not?
We have drawers underneath of our bed. Don't mind the mess. There's a lot happening here. They're very deep and very long, if you haven't noticed. There's one. I have a drawer, and Zach has a drawer below. I won't open it because we're having issues with this bottom piece here.
We need to trim it a little bit.
We need to fix it. But we remove the bottom piece at night and we pull out our second dog bed that we can kind of put wherever we'd like to put it right now. Having another animal means I had to give up some space under there for shoes and other things so I could store a bed for her, but she is worth it, I promise. Zach will fix that later. So we opted for a closet instead of a shower. We travel with everything that we own. All of our winter gear, all of our summer gear, and honestly, where do you put those things if you don't have a closet? We made the closet so it goes back just a little bit further, big enough to fit a large laundry basket. This holds at least 3 loads of clothes. We got this nifty little thing here for storing all of our shower stuff, and I have a basket full of other goodies here. It's just kind of random stuff that I don't know what to do with because we obviously need more stuff. We also have things up high where we store toiletries, baby wipes, makeup, and things like that. And a big mirror, because I feel like if you're getting dressed, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. And where else do you put a large mirror in a tiny space? So that's the closet tour. So here is my kitchen. It might be tiny, but it is mighty. We do a lot of yummy cooking in here. Up here, I have 2 overhead cabinets, both filled with kitchen things. We purchased these gas struts to hold them open because before, trying to hold it open with your head and get what you need is pretty difficult. So I've got all of our plates and mugs and cups in here. We have more than any van lifer needs. And in here, praying nothing falls out at me, is all of our random stuff, from salts and spices that don't fit in our spice rack to cereals and pastas. Down here we have a large counter where we've added this little bracket space. It's where all of our trinkety things go, and I don't need to remove any of these things from the countertop when we're actually driving, which makes it super easy for me. I just slide it all back, throw the other few things in there, and this tiny little piece of wood holds it all in. Most of the time. We did have an episode where we broke a salt dish, but you can check that video out up here. In 2020, Zach and I decided that we can't store any frozen veggies or anything in a refrigerator because they thaw out too quickly. So we built this rack here. Each shelf holds at least 7 cans, and we have a super tall one to hold any of the taller cans that we can't store in the smaller ones. Right here underneath of the countertop is where all of our cutlery is. Zach custom made these drawers so that they would fit into our awkward little angled shape. Large silverwares, small silverwares, can openers, hot pads, and then here in the very bottom we have our trash can. We went with a regular refrigerator. It is a mini fridge like you would put in a dorm. It runs off of 110 power and our inverter powers it. We've never really had any issues with how much power it pulls, so it works for us.
Hey, wait. Is there anything to eat in there?
No, there's nothing to eat in there. And in this drawer is where we store all of our pots and pans. So in here, guys, I've got my collapsible Coleman oven. It works on the stovetop actually, and it was a anniversary present this year from Zach. I've got this thing. I think it's called a diffuser. I use it for cooking soups. It helps to diffuse the flame so it doesn't burn my soup. All of our other pots and pans. We also have a very interesting toaster because, you know, toasting takes a lot of power. So this toaster is very nice. Got it for Christmas and it works really well. I think I finally figured out how to use it. Sets on the burner like so and toasts all of my bread. So we have a 2-burner propane stove. We've actually been using this since it was in our very first van way back in the day in 2017. It used to have a bottom to it, but Zach actually took the bottom part off and we built this custom wood slab for it to fit in perfectly. A recent addition after the last van tour were these baskets. We usually keep fruits in this one and veggies in this one. We do a lot of cooking on our 2-burner stovetop here in the van, and we have a lot of spices to go along with it, but it holds all the spices you could possibly want for cooking a really delicious meal.
Alright guys, so our propane is actually in this cabinet right here. This is a 2.5 gallon propane bottle, and it'll last us anywhere from 3 to 4 months. And that is cooking every single day, making coffee in the mornings, at least 2 meals.
We have extra kitchen storage underneath of our stovetop. We've got a basket that pulls out with some extra goodies in it, and all of our canned and jarred goods stay under here. Just makes it easier so I can kind of see everything I've got. Sometimes, you know, it's hard to know, like when you're cramming everything in tiny spaces and in tiny cabinets, it's hard to see what you have, so this makes it easy for us.
Action.
I love my sink. Zach and I went with a stainless steel regular house sink. It is super deep, super wide. I love it. I've washed my hair in this. I can stack dishes in here and drive away and not have to worry about washing them before we leave anywhere. It's absolutely perfect for our needs, and honestly, I recommend getting a large sink and doing it this way versus getting one of the RV sinks that are much tinier. We added this tiny mirror here, so when I'm brushing my teeth, this is where I look when I brush my teeth. Ta-da! So down here is where our 7-gallon tank is that all of our gray water drains. We have to dump this frequently, so finding dump stations is really sucky. But we do use biodegradable soap and things like that, so that way we know we're not hurting the environment when we dump. This is essentially where we store all of our cleaning items. I have an extra sink tub here that we used in our old van when we first started traveling. Down here we keep our dog food. Oh yeah, I made this. It holds all of our plastic bags.
Trash bags.
Trash bags. Because why buy trash bags when they literally give you free trash bags when you check out at a marketplace? We saved the cutout from the sink when we first did the renovation of the... We saved the cutout from the sink when we first did the renovations, when we installed it, and it fits right back on top of here. It kind of needs to be cleaned, but it doesn't get used super often, but when it does... It doesn't get used super often, but it makes an excellent extra countertop space when we've run out in our kitchen over here. And I can move it around. I sometimes put it here.
Perfect.
I don't know why that was so funny. Okay. We have 3 overhead cabinets here where we store lots of goodies. In one cabinet we keep medicines. Here we keep a lot of our toiletries. I have an office Tupperware. I have a hair Tupperware.
Hair Tupperware? You keep hair in there?
I keep extra hair in this Tupperware.
That's weird.
We keep all of our towels, all of the dog supplies, and I like how we've equipped it with these little baskets. So instead of it all just falling around everywhere in the van, we've got little tubs.
Gotta be organized.
That's the one thing about living in a tiny space, you have to be organized. Otherwise, it's just total chaos all the time.
It still is total chaos.
Sometimes it still is total chaos. We initially built this as a couch for Zach and I to use. We thought, how wonderful would it be to sit here and put our shoes on and stare at the beautiful places that we're going to be. It has since turned into a dog bed. So this is Marlee's dog bed. When we need to get to the battery, this is what happens.
Should have filmed you vacuuming, tearing everything apart.
It's like I take something apart and I'm instantly like,
Gotta clean it.
must clean this. No, but in all seriousness though, having 2 dogs in the van that both shed, there is a lot of cleaning involved. They're well worth the cleaning, but we clean all the time. Let me rephrase that.
Marlee doesn't shed nearly as much.
I clean all the time. My little love bugs.
Alright, so now we're going to talk about our power system. We do have this van equipped to be able to boondock and go off-grid, which is what allows us to be in these beautiful areas like we're at today. First thing is there's 2 100-watt solar panels on the roof. That comes down to a charge controller on the wall right here. That is one of the ways that we charge our battery. So this is a 200 amp hour lithium battery, and that is what powers everything in this van. So then from there we have a 2000 watt power inverter from Renogy. That's what powers all of our electrical outlets in the van, our refrigerator, and we have a strip of 110 outlets on either side. Then from there we have a fuse box which powers the DC side of things. So that'll power lights, fans, the water pump, the heater. Besides the solar panels, we also charge with a DC to DC charger that runs off of our alternator. And then we also have a shore power plug, which is one of the reasons why we chose this inverter, because it already has that equipped. All we got to do is run a extension cord out, plug it into the side of the van, and it'll actually charge our battery. So when we got the DC to DC charger, it says just hardwire into the the ignition wire on your key, but we didn't want to do that because sometimes we don't always like to charge while we're driving. So we actually added a switch right here, and we can turn that on and off. So if we're getting a lot of sun that day and we're still driving, we can turn it off and not have the option to charge while we're driving.
Look at our junk. The common theme of this video is we store things everywhere. Even in here.
So we watched a crap ton of YouTube videos on how to do this. I'm no professional electrician, but it is super easy. I mean, you guys can totally do this yourself. All you really need is a battery, an inverter, and then a couple ways of charging that battery, and that's really it. So when we built this van, before we put up the walls and everything, we just had it framed out. We ran a wire down one side and a wire down the other side, added 3 outlets on each side, and then it comes out to right here, and we just put a plug on the end of it, and then that plug is wired straight into the inverter. So it might look like a total mess, and it is, but after 5 years of living in this van, it's worked for us. We've never had any problems out of it.
All right, y'all, so we have 6 puck lights here in this van. They're all 12-volt lights. The first 4 are here over the kitchen, the sink, the dog bed, that kind of stuff, and they run to this outlet that's right here. It is a touchscreen outlet with a dimmer switch on it, and in the back we have a single on and off switch for the 2 lights that we have in the bedroom. The Christmas lights that we've strung along here, we actually have an extension cord that runs to the outlet in the garage, because we were smart enough to put an outlet in the garage, and all we have to do is yell at the woman and she will turn them on. Alexa, turn the lights on. Okay. It's a lot cooler at night, but you know. The big question for us is always, where do you go to the bathroom? So under towel number 1 is our cassette toilet. A huge question in van life is, where do we go to the bathroom? This is where we go. It is a 5-gallon black tank with a 2-gallon fresh tank up top. Simply pump, push, and open. And boom, you flushed your toilet. I hide it under this towel because we've yet to really put it in a space, so. 5 years later and our van still isn't perfect. It also doubles as extra seating, which is hysterical when somebody sits down and says, "Where do you go to the bathroom?" And I'm like, you're sitting on it. Speaking of extra seating, we installed this swivel seat last winter. It's been an absolutely perfect office space. When we have guests over, we have an extra place for them to sit, and honestly, it's just really opened up our space. We have such tiny living quarters and such little seating with both of our animals that this space really gives us a place to relax. Underneath of our swivel seat is our diesel heater. We purchased it from Amazon and we didn't think we would use it very often, but Marlee's growling at me.
She says, "Let me in. I'm hungry."
It's so funny. Okay. But we've spent a lot of time cold weather camping, and we figured this is the best spot for it to go, and it's out of the way. If you'd like to see our diesel heater and more about it, we'll post the link up above there. Our van was equipped with overhead storage, which is super nice. We store a lot of random things up here, everything from extra electronics to tripod stands and things like that. It was looking a little bit messy, so last winter I made this cute little macrame to hide all of our junk. Just like the curtains in the back. Thanks for tuning into the van tour, guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you next Sunday.